everyone, I hope you're doing well. Today I'm going to talk to you about how to write a comparison and contrast essay in 6 simple steps. It's one of the easiest essays for students to write, and they tend to enjoy writing this essay. So let's go ahead and get started. So what is it? What is a comparison and contrast essay? When you write a comparison or contrast essay, you could either be writing about the similarities, which is the comparison part, or the differences, which is a contrast between two usually like subjects. And when you do a comparison and contrast essay, you're comparing apples to apples. So in other words, if you were to write an essay on smartphones, you would be comparing two that are comparable. And it's writing a comparison and contrast essay is one of the most common types of essays to write in college and just across every subject, not just in English classes. It's important for you to be aware of how to write this. That way you can write it whether it's in this class or your history class or your philosophy class. The other reason why these are assigned is because they can either inform your audience or persuade it. In this case, you're going to be writing an informative essay, which means you're not writing a counter argument as you did for your midterm. So I repeat, there is no counter argument in a comparison and contrast essay, or at least not in the assignment that you'll be assigned this time. Write it, the 6 easy steps. Number 1, you have to choose what to analyze. In other words, do you want to focus on the similarities or the differences? And it'll be up to you to decide if you do have that option. The prompt will clearly state, do similarities or differences? Choose one. The next step, brainstorm to identify as many similarities or differences depending on what you choose from above. If you're focusing on similarities, then come up with as many similarities as you can between the two subjects or products or differences. And then once you've done your brainstorm, from that brainstorm, choose the top 3 points of support or contrast from your brainstorm. In other words, the 3 strongest points for your subject. And then you need to do an outline. There are 2 types of outlines that you can choose from for this particular essay. One is known as a block by block. The other one is called a subject by subject. It is your choice, whichever one you feel more comfortable picking, that's what you can go with. Ensure that your thesis answers the prompt in 1 sentence and clearly, and that it states whether you're addressing similarities or differences. And once again, make sure you use appropriate transitions. If you're writing about similarities, you use words such as like, or also, both, in the same way. Any of these will work. Whereas if you're writing about differences, words such as however, on the other hand, differently, and contrast, those are the ones that work. Now let's talk about the 2 essay types, the outline types. The first one is the block by block, which it's a 4-paragraph essay. So if you like to write shorter essays, then this might be the one to choose. Your first paragraph, of course, you need an introductory paragraph with your thesis. Your second paragraph, you talk all about subject A. The third paragraph, you talk about subject B. Then you have a conclusion. So that's block by block. If you decide to go with a point by point, you have a standard 5-paragraph essay where you have an introduction, a conclusion, and of course in the middle you talk about all the points for one of the points of support, or one of the points of similarity or difference, the second point of support or difference, and the third point of support or difference for that particular subject. So to help you what that looks like, block by block, I used in and out just because people are usually similar with in and out. Again, we're comparing apples to apples in regards to the fact that they're both fast food restaurants, but they're also like in the sense of they're in the same bracket of fast food restaurants, in the sense that they offer better ingredients than your average burger joint. So with a block by block, this is what our essay would look like. First paragraph is all the introduction. The next paragraph all talks about in and out and how it's either similar or different to Five Guys. And then the next one is Five Guys, how it's different or similar to in and out. Then we have the conclusion. If we do the point by point, you have your introduction. And in the next paragraph, you talk all about point A for both in and out and Five Guys. In other words, the first point of similarity or difference. The next paragraph is the second point of similarity or difference for both subjects. The third one is the third point of support for in and out and for Five Guys. And then finally, you have your conclusion. Now to show you what that looks like a little bit better, I will post this for you in the module for this week. You can see here is our thesis statement. It's in one sentence. Paragraph 1, we talk about how they are different in terms of, because that's what the thesis states, right? That it's different in terms of menu selection. And we talk about the menu for In-N-Out, Five Guys, and we talk about how they're different in their menu. The next paragraph is how they're different in regards to the burgers. And the third paragraph is about how they're different in regards to their fries. Notice that we didn't outline the introduction and conclusion because you typically don't outline those in your introductory or in your outline. Then we go to the second outline. Continue with the block by block outline, which looks a little bit differently. And this one, again, it only has 4 paragraphs. In the first paragraph, we talk all about In-N-Out and how it's different from Five Guys in terms of the menu, the burgers, and the fries. We have 2 examples for each one. The next paragraph, we talk about the differences in terms of Five Guys in regards to the same points, the menu, the burgers, and the fries, with examples for each. And again, we don't outline an introduction or conclusion because typically we don't do those anyhow in outlines. And then the actual essay, what that looks like for you. In terms of the word count, don't think that if you write one, it'll be easier than the other. Essentially, the word count is about the same because you essentially have the same content and both outlines, just structured a little bit differently. But I will post these examples for you. This is the block by block essay. We have our introduction with our thesis at the very end. We talk in the first paragraph about how they're different in regards to the menu selection, the signature burgers, and the fries between the two. We address both differences between both In-N-Out and Five Guys. The next paragraph, we talk about how they're different in regards to Five Guys and how it's different in regards to the menu, the burger, and fries. So first paragraph addresses In-N-Out. Second paragraph is Five Guys. And then we have our concluding paragraph, which is fairly brief for this essay. It would be a little bit longer if you're writing about something more substantial, but that's the essay. Now, if you look at the point-by-point outline, the point-by-point essay, the content is essentially the same. It's just organized a little bit. The paragraphs are slightly a little bit shorter, but not really because, again, the content is the same. So our intro is exactly the same. The first paragraph talks about the first point and how they're different in regards to how they're different in terms of their menu, and we address both In-N-Out and Five Guys, and notice that we use the transitions here. And then we talk about in the next paragraph how they're different in regards to the ingredients, in regards to the burgers themselves. We address both In-N-Out and Five Guys with transitions in the middle. And then finally, our last point of difference is regards to their fries. And we address how they're different in regards to In-N-Out fries, and then Five Guys 5. And then finally, we have our conclusion. So as you can see, it's exactly the same content, except it's organized a little bit differently. But that is the essence of a comparison and contrast essay. So that is that.